Ito ang inyong lingkod na nagbabalik upang magbigay ng mga balitang walang bias at pawang katotohanan lamang. Ito ang Bayang Pinas. Ang isyong ito ay naging usap-usapan sa buong bansa at iba't ibang social media platforms. Ngunit bago tayo magtungo sa aktual na video ay tayo muna ay magbasa ng mga komento, hinaing at opinyon ng ating mga netizen. Huwag na paloko sa ACT Party List at katulad nila, ang gulo, di alam pinaggagawa nito at walang madi-displace na teachers, bawasan man ang subjects like mother tongue kasi di naman by subject pagturo ng teacher sa lower grades. Teach all po sila. Pagkasayanin ang 6 na teaching hours or pagkasyahin ang 6 na teaching hours sa 5 subject na maging productive sa mga bata at less burden sa grade 1 teachers. Congresswoman Castro, mag-represent ka naman para sa kapakanan ng mga teachers at students kasi representative ka ng mga guro, hindi ng NPA. Wala talaga yan, Convict Castro. Ang lagi nasa isip ay paano makarecruit para maging rebelde. Feeling magaling ito si Convict Castro. Tutol sila kasi pag may isip ng mga elementary pa lang at tumatalino, wala na silang mauuto ng mga bata. Ayaw nilang mag-improve ang edukasyon kasi mga malalayong lugar kulang sa edukasyon. Maganda po talaga bawasan ang subjects lalo na sa mga primary grades para matutukan ng reading, literacy, and numeracy. Mabigyan ng enough time para matutukan naming mga guro ang mga bata sa kanilang reading ability at sa numeracy skills. Noon kami, Ma'am Castro, subject namin Science, Social Studies, Math, English, Physical Education. Hindi pala physical exercise. Honorable Congressman Castro, ganda naman ni Ma'am Vlogger. Well, para nga sa buong detalye o kabuwang impormasyon ay panoorin na lamang ang buong video at salamat na rin sa ating mga solid viewers sa walang sawang pagsuporta. At kung bago naman sa ating channel ay syempre, huwag kakalimutang mag-subscribe, pindutin ang notification bell, piliin na rin ang all upang laging maging updated sa mga balitang bago, totoo at walang bias dito sa channel ng Bayan ang Bayang Pinas. Huwag din pong kakalimutang mag-iwan ng like at i-share ang ating mga videos. Muli po mga kaibigan, maraming salamat and God bless.
I want to understand din. So, Honorable Castro, para clear tayo, no? Ikaw naman, ayaw mo pang i-implement yung 5 subjects. Kasi tinatanong sa akin na ng teacher, ba't hindi pa ma-implement? But on your part, sinasabi mo, tama ang DepEd, wag mo na implement yun.
No, not that.
But you're asking pa for the process.
Kaya tinatanong ko lang po, no, ano po yung mga naging proseso na kasi hindi naman basta-bastang magtatanggal
hindi
ka.
kayo sang-ayon. Depende muna sa proseso.
Yes.
Para maliwanag tayo sa teachers na nakikinig sa atin.
Hindi po ako, hindi po ako tutol doon sa...
Tama ang DepEd, wag mo nang implement yung 5 subjects sa grade 1.
I know. Ang sinasabi ko lang, Mr. Chair, so halimbawa katulad sa mathematics, paano nila na-decide na tatanggalin itong mga subject na ito at hindi. So yun lang naman yung yung
pero
differences.
sang-ayon po ba kayo?
So okay lang po.
Bawasan na yung subject sa grade 1 para yung mga teachers naman natin. Yung Magna Carta for Public School Teachers, nakalagay doon maximum 6 hours. Tapos gusto natin maraming subjects. So kung talagang we want to be true to our teachers, let's take a stand. Na tama yung But if you are not with us there, okay din sa akin, wala akong problema. But dapat maliwanag tayo dahil nakikinig sa atin.
Parang iba rin, Mr. Chair, yung yung sinasabi natin dito na hindi naman tayo tutol kung bawasan or dagdagan yung mga topic.
Hindi kayo sang-ayon na sa grade 1 ay ma-implement immediately yung 5 subjects lang na English, Filipino, GMRC, Mathematics, and SICAP. Hindi kayo agree.
Agree naman, Mr. Chair. Kaya lang gusto nating makuha din yung
science is traditionally grade 2, grade 3 pa. Ito grade 1 pa lang. Grade 1 yun. That's English and Filipino nila. So, sang-ayon tayong lahat para maliwanag. Na-implement na sana ngayon.
Sang-ayon tayo, Mr. Chair, doon sa pagbabago, doon sa curriculum na makakabuti sa ating mga learners, sa ating mga estudyante, and of course, ikabubuti rin ng ating bayan. No?
Sige. So, Congressman France, right now, hindi mo pa masasabi na sang-ayon ka sa proposal na 5 subjects sa grade 1. Sa ngayon, hindi mo pa masasabi yun.
Well, we have to take as a
para
whole
maliwanag ang stand natin kasi tinatanong ko ng
Chair,
teacher sa iba-ibang teaching groups kung tayo ay sang-ayon na doon. Ako sang-ayon ako because gusto ko mabawasan yung subjects. Tingin ko Ang kailangan natin functional literacy lang, reading, and basic mathematics. Ang teachers natin, grade 1 pa lang, hirap na sa dami ng competencies. Kahit yung most essential learning competencies, ang dami niyan. So para maliwanag, pag tinatanong ako, pag umiikot ako, tinatanong ako bakit hindi pa ma-implement kahit sa grade 1 na mabawasan sila kasi the Magna Carta states dapat maximum of 6 hours of teaching. Pero sa dami ng competency, sa dami ng subjects, grade 1 pa lang, ang dami ng, yung oras nila nagiging minimum ang 6, hindi maximum. Kaya gusto ko, pag tinatanong ako, as chairperson po, naimbitahan ako sa lahat ng mga, sasagutin ko ng maayos, ako, payag na ako, if i-implement agad ng 5 subjects, pag tinanong ako bakit hindi, masasagot ko bakit hindi pa. Yun ang sinasabi ko.
Yes, Mr. Chair, sang-ayon naman ako dun sa Magna Carta na wag gawing maximum yung 6 hours of classroom teaching.
Maliwanag na tayo dyan, Franz.
At, oo,
ang tinatanong ko
hindi
sa iyo,
siya gawin talagang
hindi ka pa boto na ibaba to 5 subjects ang grade 1.
No, hindi po yan yung hindi po yan yung
That's yes or no
question.
Franz, are you for it or against it?
I'm for the revision po.
With the revision, but what revision are you for?
Kaya nga po tinatanong natin,
So hindi pa,
sa DepEd.
hindi ka pa on board na babaan natin yung subjects to 5 subjects. That's the,
Yeah.
okay. So isa iyo, mas okay pang mas madaming subjects pa rin.
No naman, Mr. Chair. Titignan lang
Para
natin
maliwanag tayo
kung
kasi
paano
ang hirap ng mga questions.
yung mga subject na determine mula sa primary grades, intermediate, hanggang sa junior high school. And then, nire-review pa rin naman yung senior high school. So, yung proseso lang po. Kasi
So,
sinasabi
gusto nyo
nila,
bago magka-reform, kailangan hanggang 12 buo. Ayaw nyo rin ang unahin natin yung pinaka-basic, grades 1 to 3. Hindi rin kayo sang-ayon doon.
hindi naman, sir. Hindi naman, Mr. Chair. Kaya tinitignan nga natin yung holistic kasi tinitignan natin saan tutungo yung mga estudyante natin after this K-10 na sinasabing i-launch nung Department of Education. So hindi natin sinasabi na tutol tayo na ma-implement na nila yung 5 subject ng grade 1 in the year 2024 to 2025. So yun lang po Mr. Chair kung paano yung proseso na ginawa po ng DepEd sa pagbabawas or pagdaragdag ng mga competencies na dapat na mapag-aralan ng ating mga learners from kinder to grade 10. So, pwede po bang makuha yun doon sa Department of Education?
Yes, ma'am, Mr. Chair. As I've said a while ago, the department already has the final general shaping paper of the curriculum and the learning area shaping paper. So all details have been put there. So we can submit those, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So yun lang po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Franz. Let me also acknowledge the presence of the gentleman from the 2nd District of Cebu City, the Honorable Eduardo R. Rama. Any member who still wants to ask DepEd clarificatory questions? Kung wala, we can proceed to the next resource or invited guest.
Need for the jobs completely.
At gusto nating makapag-submit din kung paano ang DepEd. Alam ba yung class size, Mr. Chair, matagal na nating sinasabi, class size matters. So kung ang teacher ay ang dami-daming tinuturuan, minimum yung 6 hours of classroom teaching a day, so mahirap talaga dito sa teacher. So yun sa pagre-reduce ng mga subject or mga desired competencies, so makikita rin natin, Mr. Chair, paano yung distribution ng ating mga teachers later on. Kasi alam natin, halimbawa kung matatanggal, Mr. Chair, kung matatanggal po yung mother tongue doon sa kanilang doon sa curriculum na ginagawa po ng DepEd. So paano po itong mga teachers na madi-displaced. So hindi ko naman sinasabi na tanggalin. So ang position pa rin namin talaga ma-retain yung yung subject na mother tongue. So anyway, Mr. Chair, so yun lang po, hindi lang po yung curriculum mag-focus dapat yung DepEd. Dun sa kanilang isasubmit sa atin yung overall na kailangan po or input sa education po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Castro. Kaya Honorable Castro, and together with Chair Stella, we have to finalize already yung expanded IGASPE. Because gusto natin based on outcomes, hindi based on inputs to determine quality. So kailangan ayusin na rin natin kung ano ba ang natin, how do we measure quality. Di ba? Kailangan na
Sir Chair,
natin.
yung tech
This is
book.
for private
Yung
schools. The
tech book,
private schools natin, di ba, we want to expand the GASPE to grades 1 to 6. Kasi pag na-expand natin to 1 to 6, it will free up classrooms now. Kasi yung class size, liliit eh. Sa DepEd schools eh. But we don't want to just expand it without assuring our learners na may quality silang makukuha. And nag-agree na tayo before the SONA. Ang kailangan natin, assurance of quality from the private schools. So ano yung measurement natin na may quality, yung outcomes based. So I think we have to finalize that also para matapos na rin natin yung issue na ito. May I also acknowledge the presence of Honorable Joboy Aquino. Welcome. Honorable Steve Solon. Welcome din. And with that, the next may we call on FAPSA, Dr. Reynaldo Chua Jr. Briefly po.
Good morning po, Mr. Chair. Well, FAPSA po represents the small and medium-sized private schools nationwide. So, ang stand po namin, we came prepared, we did our research, and we're submitting our position paper. To summarize po, we're not in agreement with the K plus 10 plus 2 because the 10 years time is not enough to conclude that it is a failure. So feedback we got from the different administrators, senior high school is doing well and it's now on its high gear. So it is not the right time to change it, but rather we should allow it to continue to progress, strengthen, evolve, and stabilize. So let me present po si Attorney Joel Arcon, FAPSA Research, Ethics and Legal Chair, to discuss our position paper.
How long will it take you, Attorney Alarcon? Because you
Mr. Chair,
already have a paper anyway, so you can submit that for us to review, and then in the next hearing we can ask questions. But if it will be briefly, then I will allow you. But how long will it take you?
I will just mention, Mr. Chair, the key highlights from our analysis.
Busy, Attorney Alarcon.
The global alignment and best practices. Our current K-12 system is in line with international standards, guaranteeing the global competitiveness of Filipino students. The proposal K-10 plus 2 system might jeopardize the alignment. Cohesive learning experience. Breaking up the senior high school from the K-12 structure may hamper the seamless flow of curriculum, creating potential learning gaps. Economic and societal repercussions. A possible misalignment between the +2 curriculum and the market demands might impact employability. Further, a divided system could create varied generational perspectives, challenging national cohesion. Stakeholder concerns. Feedback reveals students, educators, and parents have reservations about the shift, voicing issues around consistency, administrative burdens, and student well-being. Recommendations for enhancement. Instead of a complete overhaul, we suggest targeted enhancements within the current K-12 framework with specific attention in infrastructure, faculty, and curriculum. Regular reviews and broader stakeholder engagement can refine the system. In sum, while the intent behind the K-10 plus 2 proposal is recognized, the associated risks, as per our research and deliberations, appear to overshadow its potential advantages. We fervently advocate for the retention of the integrated K-12 framework, underscoring global alignment, continuity, and inclusive development. We humbly request the Committee on Education and the honorable members of the Philippine
Ang sunod natin, who are present here this morning, iba kasi nasa ano pa rin, nasa not present physically, ano? Attorney Cocopea from the private sector, Attorney Christine Manawag, yes.
Yes, Mr. Chair, good morning, and good morning to all the members of this committee and to our resource persons present here today, online and physically. For Cocopea, Mr. Chair, of course, we will be submitting our position papers and expounding on most of our comments. But for today's meeting, Mr. Chair, may I just share general comments for the meantime. Of course, Mr. Chair, Cocopea has always been supportive of efforts to improve our educational system, and we have always extended our assistance to this committee in its efforts. For the subject bill for today's meeting, just as I mentioned, general comments. We believe, Mr. Chair, that the current curriculum was basically designed to address the long-standing issues of our education system. When it was first implemented and passed, it focuses on developing critical thinking, problem solving, and as you've mentioned earlier, it had the promise, or it made the promise of producing ready graduates that are ready for employment, basically. And we still believe in that promise, Mr. Chair. And I think we just need to come up with improvements in the implementation of the curriculum. Our experts are ready to be consulted with by the committee and share their experience in the field in the implementation process. We believe our efforts should be directed towards refining and enhancing the existing framework to meet the evolving needs of our learners and, of course, our teachers as well. And one of our considerations as well, Mr. Chair, is that a possible change in the curriculum, especially in the current landscape, we are basically reeling in from the pandemic. What we need is a consistent and the steady educational framework, and the possible change in the current curriculum may have unintended consequences that may also affect both public and the private education, both the public and private education systems. On that note, Mr. Chair, we will be submitting our position papers discussing all our points and other recommendations as well. We undertake to submit it, at least perhaps give us a week, Mr. Chair, then we'll give you all our recommendations.
Thank you, Attorney Christine. Any questions from any member to Cocopea? Just one question, Attorney Christine. So you
Yes,
have
Mr. Chair.
reviewed the proposed K-12 recalibrated curriculum?
What we received, Mr. Chair, is the substitute bill.
No. As Cocopea, as an education institution also, have you reviewed the proposed K-10 recalibrated curriculum of DepEd? They released that March, I think, Feb or March, in-announce nila yan. And they asked for all education stakeholders to comment on that. Has Cocopea reviewed that, commented on it, or hindi nyo na masyadong inalala yan?
It's still underway, Mr. Chair. We are continuously consulting with our member schools through our member associations. So it's still underway, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Chair Stella.
Yes. What is your projected reduction in enrollment as a result of a K plus 10 plus 2? So meaning in SHS. Tama naman, di ba? So most likely there's going to be a reduction in SHS enrollment.
Yes. We are anticipating that there will be a reduction. Of course, it will be removed from the basic. If this will push through, it will be, the 2 years will no longer be compulsory. At the moment, private schools are still struggling to get our pre-pandemic enrollment. And even at that time, during the pre-pandemic, we are already starting to lose students enrollment. And it was aggravated by the pandemic, as we have all seen in the news. A lot of private schools closed and a lot of students were displaced. Up until now, most of our private schools are still struggling with the student enrollment. No, well, there's a lot, especially po no yung mga schools na yung mga students po na displaced. They are currently in the public. Most of them are still in the public school system, and there's still difficulty on the part of the school to encourage them to come back. We also understand that the students and parents are also a bit hesitant to come back because of financial reasons. No, not all families have bounced back from the pandemic. So as to the numbers, we still don't have at the moment, but we anticipate that it will definitely affect enrollment in private schools.
And have you been able to do an estimate of investments that private schools are unable to recoup?
If currently, Madam Chair, we have not yet, but we will undertake to look into it.
Okay, thank you.
Congresswoman Franz?
Yeah. Siguro, Mr. Chair, yung tanong ko lang, no, doon tungkol sa impact naman on the teachers. So meron na bang study ang Kokopeya as regards to the, for example, itong K-10 ma-implement and then +2. Do you have already the study on the impact on the teachers doon sa private school? Kasi supposedly hindi na magiging compulsory itong +2. So meron na po ba kayong study sa private?
We are looking into conducting a study, but we again we are anticipating, since we're anticipating that there will be teachers that will be displaced as well, because currently we are required to have teachers to teach in the senior high school curriculum. So if it will be optional, of course these teachers will either be displaced as well. So yeah, but we will look into conducting an impact study on the effects.
So ayun lang, Mr. Chair, no, kasi ang impact nito hindi lang po doon sa senior high school magkakaroon, pati din sa junior high school, since siyempre mababago din yung number of subjects to be taught, di ba? So ganun din, dapat meron din kayong study nun from kinder to senior high school. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair,
For the private schools, ano? Yes, Chair Joey?
pag binawasa mo sa 5, ilang teacher mawawala? Hindi ikaw, yun, si public.
Mr. Chair, in terms of the number of subjects, we were able to reduce that from 7 to 5. But in terms of time allotment, it's practically the same. So I
Ano yan,
think,
magic?
Mr. Chair, I'm not sure about the effect on the number of teachers, but looking at the number of subjects being from 7 to 5.
Anyway, siguro you're coming from a deficit, di ba? You have a teacher deficit, so now you can
Yes.
fit them in. So, bakit maraming studies na mas magaling ang private kaysa public?
Yes.
Ikaw?
Sam?
So,
DepEd?
oh.
Yes. Bakit raw may mga-
Mr. Chair, I cannot really make an answer to that, but based on the results really of the international large-scale assessments, there's
World Bank? Yes,
there
World
is a significant difference of teacher effectiveness in favor of the private.
Kaya nga, kung sino pa walang sweldo. Huwag kang magalit, Franz, ha? So it must be the management incentive system. Yung, ay, ang gulo. When will we ever get education right? Ay, i-encom nyo. Tapusin nyo na.
Thank you, Chair Joey. Pero Sam, we need those figures. I already asked that question in EDCOM 2. Walang mawawalan trabahong teachers nasabi na sa amin. Kasi gagamitin na naman ng iba yan So I want that submitted here para klaro tayo na hindi, because in fact, ang problema nga natin ngayon, sinasabi ng teaching association sa amin, sobra raw burdened na raw sila sa dami ng trabahong pinapagawa sa kanila. And this will enable them to be able to free up time to be able to study, to do research. Sinasabi natin, again, may nag-comment kasi, Chair Joey, Chair Sela, Chair Congresswoman Franz, may nagko-comment na it's not merely the curriculum. And that is correct. Hindi naman curriculum lang ang problema Part of the problem really is that we have burdened our teachers with too many subjects Ang gusto natin, lahat na lang, hindi lang subjects, pati na non-teaching functions, binigyan rin natin sa ating sa ating teachers. Class size. So again please wag kayong don't misinterpret us na yung curriculum lang ang tinatarget namin. The moment we revise this curriculum, we have already passed the Excellence in Teacher Education Act, which is supposed to upskill our teachers. But they need time. The teachers need time to be able to study. Sabi ni Chair Joey, kailan matatapos maayos ito? I think this is the time, kaya natin ngayon. But we just have to put our heads together. And tama na muna yung politika. Ayusin natin ng tama ito because alam naman natin lahat ano ang problema It's a matter of us really doing the right thing. Yes. Chair Stella.
Just to remind Sam, when you submit to the COMSEC the NAT results, can you make sure that both public and private results, both public and private schools are included in the submission?
We'll do that, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
I'll just read something from a futures group. The impact of AI and how your educational system. AI is very negative, can eliminate